I welcome you once again to the Iteracare product presentation, a revolutionary product that will change your life. Now, like I always share, I came across this product some months ago, and I always believe that our body has the ability to heal itself. So when I saw this device and I felt it along my train of thoughts and the way the body has been um, equipped to heal, I felt this is a product that needs to get into the hands of everyone, everywhere in the world. And this device is actually making waves worldwide. So that's why I'm here presenting it, and I take it as one of my pet projects. So I believe, and according to Hippocrates too, he also believed that natural forces within us are the true healers of disease. That is the way God has actually equipped our body. Our body is a very intelligent organ that if we give it what it needs, no matter what the ailment is, it has the ability to sort out itself. And Hippocrates always said that if there is a way to hit the bones, then all diseases can be treated. So what we have in our hands today is like a combination of the heat therapy and then the frequency therapy. And there is a quote that Hippocrates also stated that those that cannot be cured by surgery, by medicine, can be cured by surgery, and those that cannot be cured by surgery will be cured by fire. In this sense, we are talking about hyperthermia. And hyperthermia today, there are a lot of devices that have frequency. They call them frequency medicine. We have the Rife, we have a lot of other devices, the Undermed, and a lot of other devices. So here we also have the terahertz frequency. So that is what we are dealing with. Now we have a combination of both the frequency and then the heat therapy. In 2004, the US government named the Terahertz technology as one of the top 10 technologies that will change the future world. And in 2005, China actually broke the monopoly. And they ranked Terahertz technology as the first of the 10 key strategic goals of the national pillars. And they actually gave the nation strength. They contacted a lot of scientists to really conduct an in-depth research and development concerning the terahertz technology, and they were able to utilize it. They came up with the first screening device that they use in the airport, and they found out that this device can actually do a better job than other screening devices that were actually available. And then this technology has been used in a lot of industries, including medical. There's a lot of research going on right now because they found out that this device has the ability to distinguish between a benign brain tumor and a malignant brain tumor. So there's a lot of research is going on concerning the Terahertz energy. It's like the new kid on the block. I actually stumbled upon some scientific papers that were reviewing advances of terahertz technology in neuroscience, current status and future perspective, and then the potential clinical application of terahertz radiation. So it's one of the most promising medical applications, as they're using it for cancer imaging because it has the ability to distinguish. So there's a lot of researches. Once you go to the terahertz technology, you see a lot of things, a lot of research is coming up. Now, what is terahertz? It's an electromagnetic wave band between the microwave and then the infrared frequency. It has a range of about 100 gigahertz to 10 terahertz. That's the frequency of the spectrum, the terahertz spectrum. And then they found out that this device actually resonated with the same frequency as the normal human cells. The normal human cells they see is between the 2 terahertz to 17 terahertz. So that is within the frequency range of the terahertz magnetic frequency. So they actually found that it's able to generate millions of vibrations per second. And this technology is actually a combination of the Chinese and the Western cytology technology. Now, the American scientist refers to terahertz as the wave of life. The Japanese scientist refers to it as the light of life, while the Chinese scientist refers to it as God's wave band. Well, three of them are actually right. Everyone is looking at it from his own perspective. So if we look at it on this spectrum, this is where we see the terahertz wave between the 100 gigahertz and then the 10 terahertz. And they found out that this technology, this frequency is able to penetrate plastics, clothing, and paper, and they found out that it's actually a safe non-ionizing radiation, which means it doesn't steal electrons from your body. So it's actually safe. A lot of researches have been going on, and they found out that there is no side effect. Now, what are the milestones? So when the Chinese came up and they found out that this technology is actually very good, and they found out that this thing can actually help the human body, they patented a device. They actually contacted Dishang. They are the only manufacturers that have been engrafted to produce this Iteracare. So they founded the company in 2015. They produced the first Terahertz device, and then this device actually costed about $400,000, the first generation. And then by 2017, they came up with the second generation. And by 2019, they came up with the third generation, which is referred to as the Iteracare Pro, which is what we see. We've not really, I don't think there's anybody that has it in Nigeria, but we have ordered for it. And then we have the fourth generation, which is what is common with us here. That one came out in 2021. So they are actually, still researching and coming up with better ways to improve the device. The Iteracare Pro is more bulky, as we will see the picture later, while the Iteracare Classic is actually smaller and prettier and lighter. So Prive International, they are the marketing arm of the Iteracare device. They are the only ones that have been engrafted to market this product, and they have a mission: caring for life and safeguarding health. And their philosophy is for you to achieve the prime of your life. That is their goal, and their vision is to develop into 100 countries in 2023. And right now, I think they're about 10 months, they are there into about 40 countries and growing rapidly. So according to the picture now, this is what we're talking about. This is the Iteracare Classic. You can see it's slimmer, and then the Iteracare Pro is actually bigger and more sturdier. So any device that you do not see the Iteracare logo on it, it is not from Prive International, it's not from Dishang. There are a lot of, because people see what this device is doing, some people have come up with a lot of fakes in the market, which do not do the same thing. And if you use a radiation reader to blow on it, you see that the fake device is actually high in electromagnetic radiation, and this can actually cause a lot of damage, including DNA damage in your cells. So wherever it is you are buying your Itera, make sure that you actually see that logo on it. Even those that are selling the fake device, they're actually using the name Iteracare to sell their devices, and most of them don't even have a contact address or any concrete plan. They don't even give warranty on any of their devices. So we have to be careful, and we really need to inform people about this. So the Iteracare Classic is designed for home use. So you may use it between 45 minutes and 1 hour continuously. But I tell people each session of treatment should last for just 30 minutes. You start with maybe 15 minutes, and then most times you should, by 30 minutes, you should switch off the device. So by the time you are doing it for 2 people, you have your 1 hour, especially those using it in a clinic session. But I tell people, do not let it get too hot. So most times you are going to be using your mode 1 for your treatment. So let the device cool down, and then you restart the device. The one that is actually meant for commercial use is the Iteracare Pro. And that is what is meant to be used in acupuncture centers, massage centers, physiotherapy centers, and anywhere that you have multiple patients that you can use. So it has a stronger energy, and so you get faster results. So let's assume what you may achieve in 5 minutes or 10 minutes of Iteracare Pro, you may do 30 minutes of Iteracare Classic. That is how powerful the Pro is. Now, there is always a caution we like saying: do not allow the device to drop. There is a crystal glass in it, which is actually potentiating the energies within the device. So if you drop it, the crystal glass may break and the device will be rendered useless, and the warranty does not cover if the crystal glass is broken. Now, always ensure to keep the device clean. Very, very, very important. We will still expatiate on this more. So this is what we are talking about. So it's a combination of a 3-in-1 technology. We have the terahertz, we have the quantum, and then the optical quartz. So we talked about it basically, and the optical quartz amplifies the energies that is in the device. Now, what are the features of Iteracare? We talked about safety, penetration, identification, activation, and user-friendly. So when we talk about safety, the device is certified and patented by the China Academy of Science and Sinochem. They actually ran extensive studies on this device, and they found that it can be used on all persons, including infants, without any absolute contraindication. And there are lots of certificates to back them up, environmental safety, a lot of certificates. If you go to their website, you actually see a whole lot more. You can actually request for some of these things they will send to you. And they actually did a clinical study, not on animals, they actually did a clinical study on humans in the Beijing Research Institute. And they found out that the device and the technology was helpful in some of these cases. Inflammation, they found that I had a five star, which means very, very, very effective. Comprehensive health quality, that's just improving your quality of life. So you really don't need to be sick for you to use the Iteracare. They found that I had very good, which is about 4-star. And then for malignant tumors, they used it. They found that I also had a 4-star. For viruses, because it can inactivate the viruses. So a lot of people are using it for COVID, even those that have COVID actively and those that have side effects from the COVID, especially respiratory issue. A lot of them are using the Terahertz Iteracare to treat themselves, even in their isolation area. Diabetes, he had a 4-star too. For brain issues, he had a 4-star. For lymph node, skin, gynecological issues, 3-star. Neurasthenia, that has to do with the nerves. So it's overall, they found a very good effect. They found a very good effect. And like I always say, inflammation is like the baseline of a lot of chronic diseases, including cancer. So if you can get rid of inflammation, your risk of having all these chronic diseases is actually reduced. So when we talk about penetration, this device has the ability to penetrate 20 to 30 centimeters deep. So if you take your ruler and then you measure 20 to 30 centimeters, then you understand how this device is able to help. So it can reach the bone marrow, it can reach micro blood circulation, it can help to remove coldness of the body, and it can actually help to restore circulation in areas that are not working well. So it can enter into your organs, it can enter into, tissues around. And that is because of the degree of penetration, like your infrared saunas and just general massage. So this goes much, much deeper. And that's why the effect we are seeing is almost magical. Now, the beauty of this is also the identification. It strengthens healthy cells, repairs damaged cells, it liquefies and expels unhealthy cells, it unblocks passages and vessels, and also does detoxification. Because of its ability to recognize healthy cells and cancerous cells, that is why I said a lot of researches are going on the use for diagnosis in biomedical studies. So a lot of researches are going on. So, and once that frequency enters into cells, because if the healthy cells has the same frequency as it's not really bothered. But when you have unhealthy cells are low voltage cells, and so when this terahertz energy hits them, their vibration is much, much more. And for the unhealthy ones there that are not ready to fall in line, they get destroyed and they are expelled through detoxification pathway. So that's why any kind of clot, any kind of blockage, it can unblock it. That is the way it works. Now, activation, it regulates the body temperature, improves the immune system. Remember, we said if you're able to hit the bones or hit the blood, the bone marrow, your immune system can be activated. So it actually activates weak and inactive cells and also your dormant stem cells, so that they can go to area that needs repair, and then they can start the repair process. Now, user friendly is easy to operate as long as you know how to hold. You can hold and you can blow. No knowledge, no professional skills required. Even a child can hold it and be blowing his or herself, but you make sure the child doesn't let it drop. So you see children 2 years, 3 years able to hold it, and then they are enjoying the blowing, because really it doesn't take any expertise to learn how to do it. So it's user friendly, and then you can use it for anybody. So 8 steps to better health. Step 1, we said eliminate unhealthy cells, and we said the terahertz wave vibration is the same as a normal cell. So like you have a tuning fork, and once you hit it and put it beside another tuning fork, it starts vibrating if they are the same frequency. So the same way, once you put the terahertz into your cells, if it's the normal cells, you don't see any much activity in them. But when it gets to an abnormal cells, yes, that is when the vibration will become more, and then you see a lot of activity. So the energy will be able to eliminate abnormal or mutated cells when it's been absorbed. So we said it activates the inert cells. So the dormant stem cells, it activates them and let them go to areas where repair is needed, and it becomes that cell tissue, and then repair processes take place. It also increases your self-healing capacity. Like I say, the device itself does not cure anything. It doesn't heal anything. But what it does is to assist your body to do what your body has been designed to do. So don't tell people about the device and you start talking about cure this or cure. No way. It doesn't cure any disease. But what it does is it helps your body be in a right frame of mind. Let me use that word. That your body starts healing itself, start doing what it's supposed to do, because our body has the ability to do that. But because of what we eat and we drink these days, our body system, our immune system, a lot of things have gone to sleep and they are not working optimally. So if we put in our body what it needs, it's like we are waking them up to remind them what they are meant to be doing. You know, I have a device in my office, live blood analysis. You see, by the time you take a blood and you put it under the special microscope, you see your white cells just sleeping. They're supposed to be the soldiers in your body, you know, being attentive. But you see them sleeping. You know, you see a rot bacteria running beside it or something parasite, and it's not doing anything. It's just sleeping. So with this device, it wakens all your cells, and every cell begins to do what it's supposed to do. Our body, unfortunately, is overburdened with a lot of toxins because of all these things we are eating and we are drinking. So the cells are weak, the cells are tired, the cells are overburdened. So we really need to help our body in self-healing. A lot of people take a lot of supplements, but like I tell people, if your dustbin is full and you don't throw away that dustbin, even if you put gold inside the dustbin, it will be useless to eat. So a lot of people are just producing expensive urine. So you need to clear out the garbage in your body so that whatever it is you're now putting into your body can make better use of it. So some people take supplements, they say they don't see results. It's not as if those supplements are bad, but your body is too toxic, your body is too sick to be able to make adequate use of those things. So that's why we encourage people that detoxification is very, very important. And that's one of the major things that this device does. So it induces and strengthens the DNA organic molecule, thereby enhancing self-repair of the body cells. It's able to clear your meridian and your lymph. It unblocks meridians, stimulates acupuncture points, purify blood, and increase metabolism. Now, in Chinese medicine, they believe that the major cause of pain is blocked meridian, and a lot of people are suffering from one pain or the other. So if you are able to, you know, unblock your meridians and clear out the lymph, the lymphatics are sluggish, very, very sluggish these days, and really they don't have any thing pushing them. So except we do some things like exercise or some of these things, the lymphatics are just stagnated, and that's because of a lot of issues. So once your body system can be moving, free flowing, you find out that your blood can be purified and your metabolism can be improved. Improve microcirculation. The terahertz wave dilates blood vessels, reduces blood flow, resistance, and viscosity. A lot of people have very thick blood. In fact, that's part of why you have all the hypertension and what have you, because number one, a lot of people are suffering from chronic dehydration. So there's increase in viscosity of the blood, and then you know everything will just be sluggish along the way. So with this device, it helps to clear the pathway, reduces the viscosity, and then the blood can be free flowing, and so you don't have area of stagnation or pain. So this terahertz is able to dilate the blood vessels so that things can just be moving without issues. And even when you have things like cholesterol plaques blocking the flow of your blood, this Terahertz Energy is able to unblock and clear all these things out of your blood vessels. So it also helps to improve microcirculation. A lot of people have issues with their microcirculation, especially when they are diabetic or they have any of these peripheral nerve diseases or one of these things. So it's able to clear, because of the depth of penetration, it's able to improve the microcirculation and even the circulation itself. Now it's able to regulate your glands. It protects our endocrine glands. So even whatever glands it is, your thyroid, your pancreas, all your endocrine glands is able to, because it helps to clear the toxins. A lot of people from thyroid, they are suffering from toxins, and the thyroid health has to also do with our breast health. So a lot of people are having breast issues because even your thyroid is having issues. And most people are suffering from what we call subclinical hypothyroidism, which they don't even know. So in functional medicine, we look at some of our blood parameters, our lab reports, we look at it differently from how the regular medical system has been trained to look at it. We look for things before they become even evidence. That's the way we go about it. So It regulates your endocrine glands and protect the glands. Like I say, it doesn't matter if it's under functioning or over functioning gland. Once it's able to clear out what is disturbing the gland, a lot of people are suffering from autoimmune diseases. Autoimmune disease was very, very scarce or rare during our time in medical school. But right now, we are seeing it as a very common thing. And that's because of the imbalance in our immune system. There's something we call the Th1, Th2. There's an imbalance, and that is what is going crazy in our body. And most of it, if you really look at it at the background, it's mainly because of toxins, it's mainly because of inflammation. So if you can get rid of these toxins, you find out that all this autoimmune disease can be corrected. And that is what this device is also able to help us to. So remove body immunity, cleanse unhealthy body moisture, able to balance our body acidity and alkaline issue. Like I tell people, a lot of people are suffering from acidity because what we eat and what we drink. The blood pH, the optimal pH is between 7.35 to 7.45. But a lot of people, if you check, because the blood must maintain that for life. It must maintain within that pH. So it's what it does when there's any imbalance, it goes to the most abundant mineral in your body, which is calcium, and get it, and then must balance it. But at the end of the day, other organs in your body start suffering because of that issue. Those people that have arthritis, and they find out it's just acidity in the body. So circulation, like I said, it clears all the blood impurities, promotes circulation, remove clots, and soften your blood vessels and lumps. Because it's when you have those plagues in your vessel, that's what causes the hardening. We call it atherosclerosis. But by the time it's able to clear those things, your blood vessels become softened and it's able to pump properly. So one Iteracare therapy is equivalent to 10 times acupuncture, 20 times cupping, 30 times gauche, and 40 times massage. You see some people that every time they must go to massage parlor. You know, well, most times when you are doing the treatment for patients, before you realize it, they have slept off because it's so relaxing. It's so relaxing. Same thing when you do a massage, you just want to sleep and continue sleeping. So the same effect you have with the Iteracare, but even better because of the depth of penetration. So usefulness, these are in cases like, remember, as I said, it doesn't attend to any specific ailment per se, but it just helps the body generally. So it doesn't matter what the name of the ailment is. We said it has a 5-star when it comes to inflammation. So inflammation, most of these things that have itis behind it, you know, is inflammation, rhinitis, pharyngitis, gastritis, prostatitis, anything itis, you know, it's inflammation. So this device is very, 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 very good when it comes to pain, you know. So you see that sometimes, okay, I think recently, what happened? Was it on Wednesday? I had this terrible lower abdominal pain. I was just wondering what happened. Then the clinic, you have other people using your toilet. Sometimes you take a lot of things from there. Terrible pain. And what did I do? I just went there, carried my tera, I just blew that area. The pain reduced like 50%. I was like, okay, let me just drink my water. Tomorrow I'll come and do my another treatment. By tomorrow, I didn't even remember there was any treatment because the pain was gone. So that is how good the itera is. So a lot of people that have pain from the first therapy you do, you have 50 to 80% reduction. And by the time you continue with that, you find out that you're actually getting better. So it can help with any kind of inflammation in your body, any kind of pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, joint pain, back pain, headache, dysmenorrhea, sciatica. So this has to do with inflammation too, but it's not manifesting in your joints, or dysmenorrhea is like menstrual pain. So any of this you can actually benefit from. Then we also have various blockages. We talked about the meridian blockage, the lymphatic blockage, varicose veins, weight loss, insomnia, diabetes, high blood pressure, and what have you. So all these issues, it can actually help. You know, like we said, it can regulate the pancreatic gland. It can help with the blood pressure by reducing the viscosity of the blood, clearing atheromatous plaque. So you find that once the blood is able to be going there free flow and is able to help with the blood circulation, the BP starts reducing gradually, and it can actually help. For insomnia, yes, it opens all the block channels. But that's why once you are doing the therapy, before you realize it, you go to sleep. And I find that when I use it, I actually sleep deep. A lot of people sleep, but they are not asleep. They are sleeping, but their mind is going haywire here and there, and they wake up, they are tired. They are wondering what is going on. But by the time you're able to use this device, you find out that your sleep is very, 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 very deep. For varicose veins, it helps. So for weight loss, a lot of people find it difficult losing weight because the toxins are trapped in the fatty tissue. So except you can get rid of the toxins, the weight is going nowhere. Even when you do any of these fat diets, keto and all this, once you stop, you have a rebound effect. And the weight comes on even more than what it was there before. So you need to first detoxify. So various skin issues. We talk about acne scar. There's been a lot of testimonies, blemishes, anti-aging, removes wrinkles, help. A lot of beauty spa that now use the device to remove wrinkles from clients. Various skin diseases. This is one of the devices you'll be able to see that will help various skin diseases, autoimmune diseases like what is it called, scleroderma, like psoriasis, um, name them, vitiligo. You know, it's in medicine, there's really no cure for those things. But with this, 5 months, 6 months, 3 months, a lot of people are getting beautiful results. Like I tell people, even if it's 1 whole year, as long as you are taking steps in a positive direction, you are on the right path. So much more than is even mentioned here. As people keep experimenting, they are finding, many other uses for the device. Now, it's not recommended for pregnant women. Now, not as if there is a problem with using it in pregnant women, but the issue there is sometimes some congenital anomalies are not detected on the regular ultrasound. Abroad, they have more sophisticated ultrasound that you can actually see the baby as if it's a live picture. But here, most of our scans are actually, it is well, but so if any congenital abnormality is missed during pregnancy, and maybe when the woman gives birth, they may just attribute it to the use of the device. That is why we always just advise people that, look, don't treat pregnant women, so that they don't come and give the dog a bad name. Just let them deliver and the rest, not as if it's actually causing any issue. Then when it comes to menstruation, so for those that have dysmenorrhea, you can use. But sometimes, because it's actually reducing the viscosity of the blood, sometimes they could have heavier flow for some people. But for some people, it doesn't really disturb them. You can still drink the water, you can still treat, if you're having areas of pain or something. So this is not an absolute contraindication. Acute diseases, it may make the diseases worse, which some people may not be able to bear. So we always say, okay, it's better the acute phase pass away, and then you can actually use the product. People with congenital heart diseases, it's always better. Valvular issues, hole in the heart, and all that, it's always better you don't use it for them. But that does not mean they can still drink the water, they can still treat other parts of their body, but not in that area where there is an issue. Then for objects implanted too, you avoid that area that you have the implant, but they can drink the water, they can treat other areas. Especially when it comes to the use of metal. Metal, when heated, can expand. And so we don't want anything dislodging, and they'll come and blame the device. So that's why we said don't use in the area that has the implant, but you can use in other areas of the body. Now for open wounds here, we are talking more about the bleeding wounds, because once you are blowing, it may bleed more. So we tell you don't use during the bleeding phase. Once the wound has stopped bleeding, then you can use it, or fracture, because sometimes they have some implants there in the fractured limb. And so we don't want anything dislodging. That is why we say don't use. But all these are not I would call it absolute. They are not absolute contraindications. Now, precautions with products used, very, very important. We have said the Iteracare is for external use and physiotherapy. It's not recommended for long continuous use. Remember, this is a home device. It's not like the commercial one that we can use for a long time. So we have the air inlet and outlet. This is the inlet, this is the outlet there. Do not block it. Always keep it clean, that dust and other particles does not go in. Now, when you are using the device, do not shake the cord vigorously. There are some people, when they go crazy, when they are treating themselves, you just see the wire flinging here and there, and that can actually lead to a break in any of the wires and then a spark. So please do not shake vigorously. Thank God there are some people that have taught us how to be more careful by keeping the cord, tied to the device, either with your masking tape or with your sellotape or with whatever tape, just to make sure that that place is kept stable, not moving up and down. And then some people, they are enjoying the tera hair, they are now treating themselves for over 1 hour. That is not our recommendation. For every treatment, we say 30 minutes per session is more than enough. Then you switch it off, 30 minutes twice daily. They switch it off. Most people, when they are doing for over 1 hour, then the device will not blow, and then they come and start complaining. So please, this is not meant for long-term use. We've said that before, we are still saying it again. Now, this also has a crystal, a glass crystal here in this portion. Please do not allow this device to drop. There are some people that have not been too careful with their device, and the crystal has gotten broken. Please do not, when you're feeling sleepy, that is not the time for you to use your Iteracare. Please do not allow the device to drop. And then once you have finished using, allow this device to cool completely. before you now put it back in the box. Allow it to cool completely. Don't put it in the box when it is short. So if you don't take care of your device, I tell people this is an investment for your health, and so you have to handle it with care. It's not something you handle carelessly. Handle it with care, because you paid a lot of money to acquire this device. So you need to handle it like every other possession that you have. So what are the side effects? What are the side reactions? Now, everybody is different. Everybody is different. Some may experience pains in certain areas. Some area of pain may get worse. Some may get better. Some may not have any effect. So everyone is different. Now, if the pain gets worse, no, it's part of the healing reaction. Sometimes you may see some itching. Sometimes you may see some discoloration or some changes. Just know it's part of the healing process. Don't stop, just continue. But if the pain gets too serious that maybe you cannot cope, then just reduce the time that you used to treat yourself. Maybe you're doing 20 minutes before, reduce it to 5 minutes so that your body can get used to it before you now go back to what it's supposed to be. So wherever it is you're having increase in pain, just know that it is normal. It's part of the healing reaction. Just reduce your timing and then drink a lot of the Terahertz water. Sometimes you may be treating hypertension, you find out that the BP is higher. It can happen because remember that you are clearing a lot of things from the vessels. So what you need to do is reduce the time for your treatment and then increase your Terahertz water so that all those things that you are dislodging can get flushed out and then your system can normalize again. So you can actually have healing crisis. It's not common in many people. I've just seen very few during my 3 months of using this device, but it's nothing serious that one cannot handle. But in case for those of you that are using it for yourself at home, just for you to know, all these issues can come in: itching, increased pain. Just make sure you take a lot of the water and then reduce the time you are using to treat yourself. So after therapy, avoid consuming cold water because you have just heated the body. By the time you take something cold, you have just neutralized the effects. Raw food, we say is cold too. So no fan, don't sit directly under the fan or in an air-conditioned room. And then don't shower until after 4 hours of therapy. We want that heat to keep working. That's why we say don't just allow your body to go gradually cool down. So when we talk about testimonials, before I go into the foreign one, we are still trying to compile the testimonies we've gotten so far. We have just been with the device for like 3-4 months, and we are trying to compile our own. But in my clinic, we've had cases of sickle cell crisis that got aborted in 15 minutes. This someone that had crisis for like 2 days that was unable to sleep, but within 15 minutes of use, the lady just pain went because she slept off. She has not slept for 2 days and she suddenly slept off within 15 minutes of treatment. And we had a case of diabetic neuropathy with numbness and burning sensation. And before the 10th day of therapy, the person was feeling much, much better. We also had a case of Bell palsy that when the woman is sleeping, the eyes is just wide open. But within the 10 days of treatment, the eyes have started closing, her voice has improved. And we had cases of arthritis, even from the first therapy, more than 90% gone. And the person did not even remember there was any arthritis any longer. So we've had different testimonies. Maybe if we have time, with other people can also share what they've gotten from their own centers. So yeah, we also had a case of metastatic breast cancer that was in so much pain that all the analgesics could not really help. And by the time she had just one treatment, she now said, no, I need to buy the device, and she bought the device immediately. That's how good this device is when it comes to pain. Now, I did not say that this device cured any cancer, no, but it helped the patient. Remember, it helped to reduce pain, which is we are trying to improve the quality of life when it comes to cancer care. So like this woman, she's a stage 4 cancer. We know when it comes to stage 4, that's like the end stage. Her life is in the hands of God. But at least try to improve the quality. But she was in so much pain, excruciating pain, and the size of the lump was increasing daily, and she was in so much distress. But by the 5th day of using the device, the lump had reduced by 20%, and 80% of the pain was relieved. And then by 3 weeks later, you can see the big smile on her face. 30% of the lump has reduced, and 90% of the pain relieved. So did it drive the cancer away? The answer is no, but it helped the patient with her quality of life, and that's what we are after. Now, this is the case of vitiligo, similar to what Michael Jackson had that made him go and do plastic surgery. So medically, there's really no solution. But within 5 months, you can see the skin of the person has actually started normalizing. Now, this was a video testimony of Mr. Mike. He's diabetic. He has heart issues, but he could not lift up this hand. He had so much pain with lifting up the hand. But after 15 minutes of blowing, in fact, the man was so happy that he could lift the hand. Before, he had to support the hand with the other hand. But after 15 minutes, he could lift up his hand without any issue, and was so excited. He was now asking about his bald hair, if the Iteracare could help. Now, this is a case of psoriasis, another difficult medical case to handle, but within 9 days, and then 22 days. This was even the first picture. You needed to have seen the first picture. So by the 22 days, you can see the skin has almost normalized. This is, they think is more or less like it's like an autoimmune disease. They don't even know what caused it, but the body just started attacking itself and going crazy. This is another rare medical condition. Medicine doesn't really have cure for this child. This is a little girl, but you can imagine after 3 months, this is the same girl. Her skin has cleared. Assuming there was no Iteracare, you can imagine what would have happened to this child, but we thank God for that. And then this was a vascular ulcer that the person has been carrying around for 10 years without solution, because with vasculitis, there's an issue with circulation. But like we said, this device has the ability to help micro circulation, which are the tiny, tiny blood vessels of the hands, of the feet. And because of that, by the 5th therapy, you can see the wound has closed completely. We've also had some colleagues that had issues with diabetic foot, that they were supposed to amputate the leg. And then by the time they were using this device, you found out that life has started coming back to the leg of that person, and they didn't need to amputate any longer. So that is how powerful this device can be. Now, this is a case of thyroid goiter. And then this person, by the time she blew 10 times, you can see it's not very obvious there. So instead of doing surgery and damaging the nerves and other, delicate vessels there, just blowing it, and then let the body sort out itself. And then the person has to, of course, change her diet and do other healthy things. But basically, she's able to avoid surgery. Now, this person has a very nice and rounded stomach. In our environment, we think it's a sign of good living. Unfortunately, it is not. But after 20 days of blowing, you see, the tummy has actually reduced. I tried it on myself because I want to really see evidence. And I blew on my lower abdomen. I was able to lose 3 kg at my umbilicus area and then the lower abdomen after 5 days. 3 inches, sorry, 3 inches. So this is a case of Bell palsy. It's like paralysis, facial paralysis, and that is it, but it is not stroke. This is after 8 days. You see the symmetry, the body, the face is now symmetrical. Now, this Dr. Martin, he had COVID, and he was able to hasten his healing with the use of the tera. I was so excited that he actually started talking about this device to his relatives, friends, and what they actually gave a testimony. I think it was a live testimony too, that you can use it for COVID. And this was a case of varicose vein. And after 1 hour, you can see, because it helps to improve the integrity of the vein, it's actually gone. And then this was a case of arthritis. The man entered into the clinic with a walking stick. There's also a video testimony. And they treated him for 45 minutes. And after 45 minutes, he was able to walk out without the use of the walking stick. Now, this was a seminar. They actually did a 5-minute treatment on this woman's face. They treated half of the face. Now, if you look at this half, it looks younger. It looks more V-shaped. You can see the bulge on this side. You can see this fold here. This is less visible here. So this place actually looks younger. For this woman too, she treated this place. She did a 3-minute treatment. You can see this fold here. You can see it's less visible. Here actually looks younger. The eye sagging here is not very visible here. And then same thing for this person. You see the labial fold here, nasolabial fold here. You can see the other one. So it actually helps with anti-aging. It helps you look younger. And then we have this head lump. It was an Indonesian testimony. So I don't know what this head lump was really, but what we knew was that when the person started treating by day 5, you can see the constituents is actually changing to like fluid, having something like fluid there. And then by 30 days, you can see it's almost not visible. So you see, for some people, it takes 8 days. For some people, it takes 2 weeks. For some people, 30 days. Some people, 3 months. So it doesn't matter how long. Just keep blowing. Just keep using it. But your testimony will be sure. This is also a case of arthritis. And the guy was so impressed. He got 50% relief that he decided to buy his own Iteracare, and then his arthritis is no more. This was the case of the vitiligo. It took him 5 months to get better. But like I said, it doesn't matter if you're taking baby steps in the positive direction. It's far, far better than you taking giant steps in the negative direction. Now, this is a child that had facial palsy too, following a vaccine. We don't know the type of vaccine, and maybe it's one of these flu vaccines and the rest. He got paralyzed on the face. But after 3 months of use, you can see his face has now become symmetrical. Now, this was a case of swollen foot. We were not told what caused the edema, the swelling, but this was Wednesday. By Friday, 3 days later, because remember we said it helps with the fluid drainage. You can see the nail in case you think it's not the same leg. It is the same leg. So by Friday, the edema has actually reduced. Now, this is the case of wrinkle. You can see after 20 minutes, you can see the wrinkles have actually reduced. The same thing with this. You can see it has reduced. So it firms up the face. This is another case of, you see the wrinkles, and then you see the man. Now, this was a very interesting case. This is also a video testimony, but they were speaking in, I think it was Philippines. They were speaking their language, so we couldn't really understand. But basically what they said there was that this man was unable to speak for 2 years. He had a kind of stroke. But after 20 minutes of using the Iteracare Pro, the man started speaking, and the wife was really crying. It's a video testimony. So that is it there. And then this is a very bad case of this ugly looking varicose veins. But this is after 30 days. So you see, for some people, healing is faster, for some people, not so fast. Now this person, you can see how the varicose veins work. For just 15 minutes, one therapy, 15 minutes therapy, you can see it's less visible. That is how powerful it can be. Now this is also another video testimony. The woman could not close her hand tightly. She could not. It was stiff. But after 15 minutes therapy, she was so happy she was able to fully close her fist. Yeah, so this patient, you can see the person is fully kitted. You know what this means, coronavirus. So the patient was just lying down. His SpO2, his oxygen concentration was 87, and his heart rate was very, very fast. But after treatment, we found out that you can see even the color of the skin, life has started coming back to the man. And then his oxygen saturation improved to 96, and his heart rate had dropped. So this was after treatment. And in fact, his appetite came back so fast that he decided to eat. So that is how fast the healing can be. So how do we use the device? We have 3 modes of use. We have the high speed medium heat, and this is the mode that you will use for majority of your treatments. This is mode 1, high speed medium heat. So assuming you want to do a 30 minutes treatment, you use this for like 20 minutes, then you can use the high heat for 10 minutes and go back. So you can use this for 10 minutes, then go to high heat and come back to medium heat. So do not use the high heat for too long. Most people cannot tolerate it, and that also overheats your device. So come back to your high speed medium heat. That should be what you are using mostly for most of your therapy. So low speed low heat, when you want to do your face or your eyes, that is what for children. Those are the ones you use. You either use your high speed medium heat or low speed low heat, because children cannot talk, so you don't want to burn them. So you use that. But for those that have chronic issues that have been long standing, and there are some people, you use this one, they tell you they're not feeling anything. Yes, you can now use this, but make sure you don't cause burns for them. But don't use it for too long, no more than 10-15 minutes. You know, go back to your medium heat so that your device can also last longer. Now, treatment using the Iteracare blower. The Iteracare blower is designed to blow hot air and tera waves onto localized areas of the body, depending on the kind of treatment you are seeking. It has a switch which can control the speed and the heat you are comfortable with. Now, externally, treatment is focused on areas where you have pain, skin wounds, or skin diseases. Now, for internal disease, you can be treated by focusing on a number of anatomical or acupuncture points. We'll show you some acupuncture points, but you can also use anatomical points. If you want to treat liver, maybe you have fatty liver, you know where the liver is. If you want to treat your heart, you go to where the heart is. If you want to treat the kidneys, you go to where the kidney is. Or you can also use the acupuncture points. Now, water plays a very, very important part in treatment. Remember, we say a lot of people are suffering from chronic dehydration. So users are recommended to drink water before and after the treatment. And which water are we talking about? Preferably the Terahertz treated water. Just blow into your water for like 1 minute. It doesn't matter, up to 5 liters. You can blow for 2 to 3 minutes, you know, if the water is fully charged, and then you can drink it throughout the day. So you now blow on the skin area where you wish to treat in lines or in circles. Now you hold the blower at a comfortable distance from the skin. What may be comfortable for patient A may not be comfortable for patient B. So at your own comfort, and that's why we always tell people, experiment on yourself. You hold the blower and tell us what is comfortable for you. Let us have a look. Now you need to focus on the localized area for about 15 to 20 minutes. On that problem point, you have to focus for 15 to 20 minutes at a time. So when you are doing your basic treatment, you start with the basic, the hands, the legs, the back. Then now focus on that area of concern for at least 15 to 20 minutes. And for best effects, you should carry out treatment for consecutively 5 to 15 days. Consecutively, not that you do it once a week and expect magic. It doesn't happen that way. And preferably, we tell you should do 2 treatments, twice, that's 30 minutes, twice daily. Is better than doing 1 hour stretch. 1 hour stretch may just put the body under a lot of untold too much burden. So it's better you do 30 minutes twice daily than for you to do 1 hour stretch. And it's always good you carry out 5 to 15 days. On average, for my patient, I book them for a 10-day session. And most of them, before they finish 10 days, they decide to buy their own therapy device. That's how powerful it is. And then when they finish treating, you drink the Terahertz treated water thereafter. Now, the Iteracare device can be used to change the molecular structure of the water. Now, what are we having? The water we have in our villages are different from what we have in the city. In the village, for those of you that grew up in the villages, you remember that when you are tired or you go and drink from the stream, you feel refreshed, you feel re-energized. But what is happening in the city? We are bringing water from long distance, passing through long pipe and a lot of angles, and it's going at high pressure, and then you put your water pump, you pump the water. So electrostatic forces are entering the water. So at the end of the day, you know, you clean the water with chlorine or whatever. So the water comes out clean chemically, but biologically the water is dead. And then the water is too heavy that your body does not recognize it. That's why a lot of people end up with taking fizzy drinks. But by the time you are able to use this device, it breaks down the molecular structure of the water to a linear form that your body can easily absorb. So it reduces the surface tension of the water. It restores vitality to the water, thereby increasing the oxygen level. So you just need to blow your water with the Iteracare device, and you find out that it actually enhances the blood integrity. For a lot of people, when we do the live blood analysis, we find what we call in medicine rouleau formation, stack of coins. Your red cells are like on top of each other. And with that kind of picture, your body does not, you have low energy because your red blood cells are not flat and open. So the surface area in which they can use to absorb oxygen is low. But by the time you drink the Terahertz water, you find the cells are now separated. And so you have more surface to absorb oxygen. And you find out that the person is more energetic. So when you drink a lot of this water, it makes you more healthy, reduce the viscosity in your blood, and allows more oxygen to flow to restore your energy. So you need to drink your Itera charged water now for a healthy you. So what are the benefits of drinking Terahertz water? Direct entry into cells, better absorption, accelerate metabolism, enhance vitality of the human body, lower blood viscosity, detoxifies. So water is the best agent for detoxification, energizes the cell, repair body cells, and rejuvenate body cells. So those are part of the benefits. So charging the water, we said you need just 1 to 2 minutes to linearly structure the water up to 5 liters. And this is an example of what you need. You put your glass of water down, you hold your device up, and you just put it on and blow. That is all. And then this Terahertz treated water can last for even for the next 6 months. It doesn't lose the energy, especially if you don't keep it in areas that have electromagnetic forces and all the rest. Now, there are other 2 linear water structuring devices in the market that produces Terahertz water. But the one I saw is about $1,800. And that device can only produce 350 mils of water. But with our little device, as small as it is, we can make up to 5 liters of water. And this water is able to last. The energy in the water can last, which is really great. So a lot of people, this is the rouleau reaction we're talking about, stack of coin. You see like your blood cells. But by the time you drink your Terahertz water, you find out that the cells become separate. So after entering your body, the Iteracare linear structure Terahertz water continues to resonate with your cells, and then is able to now transport more nutrients, minerals, oxygen that are beneficial to your body. Supercharged nutrition. So this is get a glass, big container, and then just blow, and the whole family can enjoy that water. So drink Terahertz water if you have any of these issues: high blood pressure, skin disease, migraine, psoriasis, fatigue, constipation. A lot of people are constipated. If you're not moving your bowels at least twice a day, you are constipated, and you need to drink Terahertz treated water. Gallstones, kidney disease, diabetes, stroke, hair loss, gout, kidney stones, Kidney stone, like I said, you don't need surgery. You can break it and then flush it out. Any kind of inflammation, menstrual cramp, stroke or paralysis, obesity, pimple, acne, whatever it is you want to call it, allergic rash, most of the allergies we have is still because of toxins in your body and because of chronic dehydration. Asthma, the same thing, eczema, arthritis, aging, urinary tract infection, among other diseases. What are the simple guidelines for therapy? Like you said, you can treat anatomically, you can treat using the acupuncture point. That's the Chinese medicine treatment point. So the speed at which results can be seen depends on the body and the health condition of each person and the frequency of use. Remember what I said, the more frequent you use, some people can use up to 3 times a day, but they must be 4 hours apart. The faster the healing. So this device encourages natural healing. This device does not cure anything. It does not cure any disease. Now, what are the steps to using the Iteracare? You said you drink your water. In our environment, by the time you have your son, you bring out your water is already hot. So that is already warm water for you. So just blow your Terahertz Energy into the water. Now you treat your palms, your feet, because your organs are expressed in your hands and your feet. So you treat it for at least 2 minutes, 2 minutes. You go to the back of your leg, especially for those that have arthritis, you treat this area. Your groin, this has to do with your lymphatics, your armpits, just 1 minute, 2 minutes. Your lymphatics, especially when you have issues with the head or the brain, your neck, your upper back. So basically, yeah, for this, the center of your head, when you have hypertension, you do not treat the center of your head. It didn't say you cannot treat this back of your head and your neck, but the center of your head, because according to Chinese medicine, there's one thing they call there. So don't go there, because the person may just have too much burden that they can handle. And then you treat the back, and once you finish, you now drink another glass of water. So, but basically, I tell people, if you're in a rush, you treat your hand, treat your leg, treat your back, and then focus on the area that needs treatment. There's really no right or wrong way of treating. That is the truth. Now, how do you blow? After drinking your water, you follow this pattern. You get in touch with the person that invited you. They can always share this picture with you. Just follow this pattern. But there's really no right or wrong way of blowing. You can just concentrate on the area you have your issue, and then you treat. So what are the treatment points specifically? We are looking at the acupuncture points now. Treatment point 1, if you have hypertension, coronary heart disease, myocardial infarction, cerebral infarction, hemiplegia or paralysis, these are the areas you treat. Here they call it the heart meridian. So these are the areas you treat with any of these conditions. And remember, we said it's better you do 30 minutes twice daily than to do 1 hour at a stretch. Treatment point 2, for prostate issues, for gynecology issues, that's issue with your pelvic, this is where you are going to treat mainly after doing your back. The back, because that is where the spinal nerves comes out, and that is what is supplying different organs. That is why the spine is very, very, very important. So when you finish that, you concentrate on the pelvic area. So you have for hemorrhoids too, you can now concentrate on where the hemorrhoids is. But in that case, you're going to use your low heat, low speed to treat that area. I have a testimony of that. The one that was really coming out and hard is something that softened, and most times doesn't come out and doesn't bleed again. So you can actually point it there and start treating. And there's a patient too with prostate issues, and I tell him, okay, start treating that area. So there's also a lot of testimonies on dysmenorrhea, painful menses. You find out that the pain actually reduces. So for diabetes, you treat this acupuncture area, and then you can find out where the pancreas is anatomically and treat that area. And then when you have varicose veins, after treating this, you now focus on the area you have the varicose veins. If you're in a hurry, if you're in a hurry, just go to the area of the vein, and then you treat the area of concern. Cataracts, you treat this area, and then you treat the eyes. Glaucoma, dry eye, eyesight. But if you have had surgery or you have lens in the eyes, you have to be careful. If you have any lens, any extra implants in your eyes, do not blow the eyes directly. But you can blow this area and then drink a lot of Terahertz treated water. Some people have asked me, okay, I've had this thing, just go on. You can go on low heat and treat. But if you have implants there, as much as possible, we advise you to avoid that. There's a lot of testimonies on improvements with these conditions. Now for therapy, treatment point 5, we have breast hyperplasia. So you treat the breast area, thyroid issues. Like I said, the thyroid is actually connected to the breast issues. And then lipoma, most people will find out that they have cancer. If you check their thyroid, they have issues with the thyroid. So either hypo, whatever it is, lipoma it's like fatty tissue in a particular area, and the heat and the terahertz will break this down without any issue. So once you finish with this, go to the area of consent and treat that area properly. For lumbar issues, people that have a lot of back issues, please treat that area. Sciatica, whereby you have pain starting from your bum bum and going to your leg, that's a sciatica. Treat the bum bum area very well, but sometimes the issue is actually from the lower back. So that's why we encourage you to treat the spine before you start treating any other area. Femoral head necrosis is commonly seen in sickle cell patients. You also treat it to help to reduce the pain. I didn't say take the sickle cell gene or change it. It doesn't change anything, but to help to reduce the inflammation, and it helps in the regeneration, like we said. So treatment point 7, cervical spondylosis, issues with the neck, frozen shoulders. You go to the shoulder that is affected. They cannot lift up their shoulder, but by the time you start treating there, you find out that that place become easier and then there's less pain. Dowager's hump is something that happens here and sometimes causes compression of the nerves here, and then it also causes a lot of issues. So by the time you're able to treat this area and then focus on the area affected, you find out that the person feels better. Remember, when it comes to arthritis, chronic dehydration is also a major cause. So you need to drink a lot of terahertz water. Very, very important. I know of cases in the past that they said they had to do surgery, and I told the mama, I said, don't do any surgery, start drinking your water. Here we had what is it called, Lacena water. That water is directly from the soil. They didn't process it like the waters we are having. They just get it out and bottle it, and just 3 days of water therapy, the mama started working and the pain was gone. So I know the power of water therapy, and that is why I do not underestimate. I've been talking about this for the past 15 years with a different device anyways, but this is really amazing. So 8, we talk about rheumatoid arthritis, rheumatism, gout, a lot of testimonies. In fact, you see some pictures that the swollen joints actually reduce. Rheumatoid arthritis is also an autoimmune disease. Most times it's still because of this toxicity that we're talking about. And treatment point 9, we talk about arthritis. Remember, you treat both the front of the knee and the back of the knee, because the back of the knee is where most of the vessels and things are coming in from. So you treat all these other areas, the liver area, because they believe when there's stagnation, it can also cause pain. So for these diseases, these are the areas to treat. For facial neuritis, we talk about Bell's palsy. There's a problem with the facial nerve, so we have issues. That's why it affects, you see the way the nerve spreads out. That's why they cannot close their eyes and other things coming. So you treat that area. Tooth pain, go to the area of the tooth. It reduces the inflammation, reduce the pain. So you treat all these other areas. Rhinitis, any kind of sore throat and the rest, you treat the lungs, and then you treat the back. And then we had even bronchopneumonia, like a doctor was sharing his testimony, a child that came in gasping, but within the second day, the child was already well with the itera. And the mother was asking, which magic did they do on her child? That is the power of the itera. So hearing issues, you treat the head area, the neck, and then Parkinson's, even Alzheimer's. A lot of people are giving testimonies with the use of the itera. Same thing with all these skin diseases. You treat these areas and then you now concentrate on the area of concern. Obesity, anorexia, all these, you treat these areas and then concentrate on the area of concern. Beauty, yes, as you are blowing the face, be pushing it off. That is how you get V face. That is how you remove the wrinkles and what have you. So to summarize, the active terahertz energy light waves can penetrate 20 to 30 centimeters of the human body. Manual massage can only go 2 to 3 centimeters. General instrument like the sauna can go 6 to 7 centimeters. But this device is able to go deeper, and then it dredges the meridian, unblocks all the blocked channels, open up the lymph nodes so that they can be doing their work. Improves microcirculation, expel cold. For those that have itching, there's a lot of patients that was just going to the hospital for one medication or the other for itching. But within 3 minutes of use of the device, the itching stopped. 10 minutes to relieve pain, 20 minutes to clear the meridians and the collateral. High temperature kills abnormal cells, cancer cells, and that's why they use hyperthermia in Europe. Repairs the damaged cells and clears blockages. Now, this device we said is very, very intelligent. It's able to recognize normal tissue and then also identifies bad tissue, and it's able to do what it needs to do. So it actually activates the innate cells and then helps the body, promotes the body's self-healing power. So that is what it's able to do. Now, various researches has shown that the terahertz are helpful for all these conditions, among with the other ones we discussed earlier: headache, joint pain, blood circulation, treatment in various diseases, and wound healing. It also helps to reduce the toxic side effects of chemotherapy and radiotherapy. We know a lot of patients that have died because of this side effect. So we encourage anyone that is on cancer treatment. In fact, this is one of the reasons why I actually got this device, to help my patients, and then improves skin diseases and improves beauty and skincare. Now, this man became very famous when the COVID issue started. He's been a director in National Clinic Research Center for Respiratory Disease. But by the time the COVID started, he was one of the forerunners in a lot of researches. And he said, we need to invest for health. People are usually reluctant to spend for health when there is no symptom or sickness. And that is the truth. But once they fall sick, they have to spend every cent for treatment. And his sincere advice is that we should rather spend for health maintenance than treatment, because the truth is prevention is better than to cure. And like I tell people, you don't wait until your car breaks down before you go and be doing your servicing or change your oil filter, change your fuel filter. Every 3 months, and people have already straitjacketed that every 3 months they must take their car to the mechanic for checkup. But how many times do we do checkup for this only the machine God has given us? We don't have spare parts. We don't have extra that we can use to change anything. So I tell people, it's better you take care of this body. Change your fuel filter, your kidneys, your liver, check all these things. Most diseases, they don't present early. It's when you do all these tests, you can pick it up early. By the time they are presenting clinically, it's already advanced. And that's the majority of the cases we see for cancer. They are already advanced because we don't pay attention to our body. They always say the fastest thing that drives us to the hospital is pain. And by the time you are having pain in something, there's a complication somewhere. So we really need to start paying attention. When they say do your regular checkup once a year, twice a year ideally, but worst case scenario is once a year. It's very important. It's not a luxury. It's something you have to do. The same way as you take care of your car, we need to take care of this body. And I close with this. What is the worth of your health? How much are you worth? Is it worth investing in your health? For me, my answer is yes. And that is why anything I find that can help my health, no matter the cost, I always find a way. I always find a way. Prevention is always better than to cure, because people that have cancer today, if you tell them, go and get this thing, 1 million, or to take care of your health to prevent cancer, they would have done that. But a lot of people now with the cancer, they're spending billions and millions, and they have not gotten the headway. So it's better we spend money to maintain that health and take care of ourselves. And like I close with this, your greatest asset, we squander health in search of wealth. We scheme and strive and save. Then we squander wealth in search of health. And all we have is a grave. We live and boast of what we own. But when we die, we own only a tomb. That is the tomb, the stone, headstone. Now your health is your greatest asset. So make it last. Thank you very much. And that is the presentation. Prive International is the marketing arm, as I said.